My name is James Scooby-Doo Kelso, and I drive the number 49 crate and limited late model. Well, we built a crate car at the beginning of last year, and had some luck with it. It took us a little while to get the handling down on it and get a couple things rolling on it, but you know, finally getting the setup on it right. And then over this winter, we're looking at getting a new Stinger race car, and going to hopefully get it ready for this coming season.
My name's Ron Kelso. I'm Jimmy's dad. We call him Jimmy anyway. Scooby-Doo story, how he got hit. My brother, James Kelso, asked him how the car was handling one night, you know, what it was doing, you know, so he'd know what to do to the car. You know, I don't know. And he told him, said, if you don't quit that, he said, I'm going to start calling you Scooby-Doo. You know, so it hit. It's one of the announcers down at Smoky Mountain, Archie Anderson, was down there, and he'd catch Jimmy on the track, and, you know, he's always, where are you, Scooby-Doo, and, you know, and all this stuff, and it just stuck to him. The part of building the cars and trying different things and making things that you want to work out and see if it'll, you know, because you're trying to get the edge over the next guy.
Jason McCall. I started racing in '93, and Jimmy's my cousin. Of course, he was just a kid then. You know, when Jimmy started racing, if I could have been a racer like him, I would have stayed in the sport. You have,
you know, you have dreams and aspirations about, you know, becoming a big time, but, you know, realistically, you know, we love the sport. We do it, you know, because that's what we love to do. And we have, you know, just as much fun, you know, enjoyment of the challenge of me going out and scrapping the car and then making sure we get it back for the next weekend of racing. You know, sometimes that's just as much drive as being down there on a Saturday night racing it.
Jimmy is more of the true racer. He just wants to be around it. It don't matter if he's racing a front wheel drive, a street stock. He just loves racing.
I am James Richard Kelso. I am crew chief for Jimmy Scooby-Doo Kelso. I don't care if you run dead last or if you run first or what class you're in, safety first. I started out with the dirt track series helping James Price. We've tore up a bunch of equipment. I got a scrap pile down there as big as a semi to show to prove it.
I'm Chris Kelso. I'm Jimmy Kelso's brother. I've been helping him ever since they got into racing. I guess our passion for racing came when me and him were kids. Our dad bought us both some old racing go-karts and built us a track in the backyard, and that was where we spent the biggest part of our time. Anytime Daddy would let us, we were on those go-karts playing and racing each other and just falling in love with the sport.
I'm Jed Emmert. I'm Jason McCall and Jimmy Kelso's cousin. I helped Jimmy for a long time, probably till I was about 13 or 14, and we'd go everywhere, and we've had some moments where we've been on top of the world, and it felt good, you know, it just felt good to be there. We ran well, and we were proud of how we ran, and we've had moments where I've been so mad at him, mad with him, I wanted to cry, or I did cry. I just got to thank all of them. I mean, they probably put something in my blood that's not healthy, but probably not, but I hope to make a future of it one day.
That was probably the flip at 2010 at 411 Motor Speedway. We turned around and went out for a heat race and come out and took the green, and as soon as I hit the throttle, the car jumped out of gear. So I'm going down the back stretch trying to get the car in gear and trying to draw a caution, and well, that didn't help out. It didn't work. So I get it back in gear and fire through the radius of 3 and 4, and as soon as I straighten the car up down the front stretch, hit the throttle, it throws a power steering belt. And, well, I've got the wheels turned to the right, and I drove right up in front of the whole pack and ended up making a nice mess on the front stretch. So it was pretty neat. To this day, if I wouldn't have seen the pictures, all I'd swear to you was the car just rolled right over one time and right back over on its wheels. But looking at the pictures, it was a nice, fun ride. But granted, I ain't ashamed to say that I did close my eyes.
The scaredest I was when he flipped it up at 411 in the Steelhead Championship. I was in turn 4, and he ended up in turn 1, and I was to the car, but just about the time he climbed out of the car.
But late model is a different ball game. You know, when you go big car racing, you got to spend a different amount of time. You know, and that's what I give kudos to Jimmy and Jason for what they've done over the years. I mean, they've held regular jobs, come home, work, you know, essentially 9-to-5 jobs, and come home and still go work on race cars. And that's what amazes me about Jimmy sometimes is, you know, he'll work himself to death just to go race on Saturday.
When it comes to racing families, you know, it don't matter what happens on that track. You know, you'll beat the doors off each other trying to get that position. But when you get down into the pits, you know, everybody's a family, everybody's a friend. So I tell you, when you get in that car, it's a totally different world. It's a fun adrenaline rush the entire time you're on a track. So,
like Jimmy, he just loves it. You know, it's kind of like he can't wait till Monday to wash the race car. You know, and I've never understood that, but he just loves working on it. You know, and he's smart enough he can figure it out himself. You know, a lot of stuff mechanically. If he goes down there and gets 7th or 8th, you know, they have a good time. The family's together. They enjoy it. They've had a successful time at the racetrack.
Driving the cars, which that is unreal rush in itself, and it's just so much fun. If it's something that you really want to do and passionate about, there are ways to do it and do it right and do it economically and be really competitive. So there's people out there that's got more talent and more knowledge than I do about how to get you to that point, but there's room, you know, to race with anybody and everybody that wants to come into the sport, and more power to you if you get the opportunity.